take the mask up, put it in an evidence bag, and zip it up. But it's just because either laziness or just
It didn't fit their narrative. It
that's
didn't make
it.
sense for them.
They made all the pieces fit. The ends justified the means in this
But
case.
that kind of work leads to false arrest, leads to wrongful arrest. It leads
At least the guilty people going free because
more importantly, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
because we're going to do our job. Our job as that spoke is to defend the guy. That's it.
And the offer, mind you, is life in prison the entire way, right? You either plead the guy to life in prison, or if you want to make offers, right? Like make an offer to give the guy an opportunity if you really don't want to risk losing the person to letting the guy walk. You're risking it because if you see all this bad police work, you see all this, at some point a smart prosecutor is going to make an offer. And she did eventually in this case, and she is a good prosecutor, but along the way there's nothing there. So we're going to look for everything we have to look for, and that's the job. And so we already have a coerced confession. Whether it's true or not, it's coerced confession. A violation of the guy's, he's asked for a lawyer, so that's where it is. Now we got a mask that's just ignored, right? Which is probably it'd be helpful for them.
And your eyewitness stole the drugs from everybody.
And then your best witness is a liar now. That's literally, and I'm sure they knew this.
Well, the guy the victim who lived, he shows up the next day wanting his drugs and his money back. And
the guy that saw us stole some.
He wet his beak, as we say.
He wet his beak?
He wet his beak. I said, what'd you do? Well, I took some out for myself. I took some out for my roommate. I said, there's every kind of drug known to mankind in there. Did you take any of that? Just the marijuana. How much marijuana? 3 giant bags of marijuana. They were like 2 foot by 2 foot. Like, I don't know, we get bags like that, but
oh my God,
that's a lot of marijuana. He took all that out of the bag. That's his storage fee, I guess. So that all comes out. So now his credibility shot to hell. And if we had the cops on the stand, I would have said, hey, did you know that your eyewitness that started the whole ball of wax going here, everything you went off of, stole drugs himself that day? Wanted you out of his house, wanted you out. The body stayed there for like 4 hours until 8 o'clock at night. He didn't move the drugs and money until after the body left. So everything was talked to the cops 3 other times, never mentioned anything about drugs or money. Cops didn't speak to any other witnesses that saw this being done because they didn't bother talking to anybody else in the house. Anyone else was there. Just 2 other witnesses that were in the car with him. No one ever spoke to them. And I get that murders happen in Lauderhill quite often, but you think if it's your relative, you want the cops doing their job, right?
Ridiculous. This is a case that got handed to the cops, handed to them, right?